Hi Diane, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name is Julie. I'll be your counselor for today's session. I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I'll be receiving my master's in nutrition from Bridgeport, and I've had some counseling experience for the past couple months where I've had clients come in with all different types of health concerns, and we've pinpointed them and changed their diet and altered it a little bit to help them feel better. Okay. I just want to give you an overview of what we're going to do today. We're going to do your weight, your blood pressure, your body fat, and then your waist to hip ratio, which I'll explain what all those numbers mean as we go along. And then by the end of the sessions, we'll be able to make a plan that suits your lifestyle and the demands of your life. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's step on the scale and take your weight. Okay, you can step up. Okay, so what is your height?
5'7".
Okay, so your weight is 115, which is in a healthy range. Your body fat percentage is 7.6, which is good. Your BMI is 18.1, which is in a good range. You don't want to be too high because then you'd be at risk for obesity. And you don't want to be too low because that wouldn't be healthy either. And then your body water percentage is 68.4. So based on your bone density, which is 7.7, it's basically an indicator that the more muscle your body has, the more water it can hold. Okay? And how old are you?
29.
Okay. So we're going to take your waist to hip ratio now. So for your waist measurements, just do it a little bit above your belly button. Okay. And your hips, just put this around your hips. Okay. So basically what your waist to hip ratio does, it tells you if you're at what you're at a risk for, if you're at risk for diabetes or something of that nature. So your waist was 25 inches around and your hips were 36. So when you divide those two numbers, it becomes 0.69, which is a healthy number. Because for women, you want to be less than 0.8.
Okay.
Because if you're less than 0.8, it means you're at a low risk for like things in metabolic syndrome, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, all those types of things. And also for insulin resistance. And it also gives us a better idea about apple-shaped or pear-shaped. Have you heard about that before?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, basically, apple-shaped, you're more at risk because you carry more weight around your abdominals as opposed to pear-shaped, which is you're more heavy set at the bottom. Okay. So now we're going to take your blood pressure. I'm just going to take your blood pressure quick.
Okay.
Okay. So you're at 110/75, which is also a good range too. For women, it's usually about 120/80, so you're in the good range. You don't want it to be above 140 because then it's considered hypertension, and that could be a risk factor again for diabetes and all those types of things. So then we'll talk about your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, and it's basically the calories that are burned at rest, like as your body's doing nothing, no physical activity, just as you're sitting there. And it decreases as we age, so that's why we want to make sure we can keep it at a good number. So as far as that goes, we take your height, weight, and your age. So you said your height is 5'7",
right,
and your weight is 115,
right,
and your age is 29,
right?
Right? Okay. So then you would divide all these numbers, and then I'll have that number for you next time we come, and we'll discuss it again. And then to increase your BMR, you should increase your muscle mass because you want to keep that at a healthy number. So do you go to the gym? Do you do any type of physical activity?
I go to the gym.
Do you lift any kind of weights?
I do every other day.
Okay, that's good. You got to keep the muscle tone because you don't want to suffer from sarcopenia, which
Okay.
is the loss of muscle mass, because then your body will become weaker all around.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
The last thing we're going to do is just going to do a skin assessment of you and like your hair and nails and see if you're suffering from any kinds of deficiencies anywhere. Okay?
Mhm.
So let me just check your skin. Do you think you have any dry skin anywhere?
No.
You don't feel like you suffer from anything?
Nope.
Do you find that your hair falls out ever?
Yes.
Yeah, like a
Mhm.
lot, in clumps?
A lot in the
Yeah.
shower.
Okay. And what about your nails? Let me see your nails. Okay. And your gums. Do you suffer from any cavities or dental issues?
Only like 1 or 2 cavities. That's
Okay. Okay, so the whole reason we did this, when I assessed your nails, I was looking for more white spots, because white spots would mean like a zinc or a protein deficiency, so that's just something to keep in mind.
Okay.
Do you see them pop up occasionally ever?
No.
Okay, good. And as far as your hair loss, that could be a couple things. That could be vitamin deficiencies of A and C, or it could be a zinc deficiency or something of iron. So if you notice that it keeps happening, just record when it does, write it down, and we can assess that a little bit further,
Okay.
along with your diet.
Okay.
And then if you don't suffer from dry skin, that's good, because if you did, it could be also a vitamin A deficiency.
Okay.
Do you think that your diet contains a wide variety of foods,
Yes.
like proteins and fats?
Yes. Everything.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So next time you come, we'll go over your diet and have a food diary. So just bring that when you're ready,
Okay.
and we'll assess that further.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. If you do, you can always call or email me.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank-
coming in. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.